Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, along with. Say it again. They can't hear you. Say it again.
Man. It's your girl Bunny.
There we go. And also
Joe.
Sorry about that.
She like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, snap. It's showtime. Let me go.
Right.
Super mom.
Man,
Once
I
again
was dashing up the steps. Waddling, dashing up the steps. Let me say that.
You gave me a second to put food my dinner there while you left. So
everybody like, oh, wait a minute. It's showtime. The lights are on. Let's go. We got the whole world watching. But once again, it's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, your boy Smooth along with
Bunny
and Jobo.
When it's about sports,
you know what? It still becomes our business.
And business just keeps picking up.
Yes, it does. Ladies, how y'all doing this evening?
It's hump day, but I know Jobo's on cloud 9 because when I heard about the Stros 5th ALCS in a row, I said, "Oh, this girl is like behind on cloud 9."
She good. She Gucci right now,
y'all.
She is Gucci.
I said,
hey, Bunny,
dang, get them damn Stros.
Hey, Bunny, turn your phone sideways so we get the full view of you.
Sorry. There we go.
There it is. Yeah, so we have a wonderful show in store for you. But real quick, ladies, funny story. So it's let's see, what is 7:02? About 6:58, I get a call from Stanton, and guess what guess what he tells me?
Please don't tell me that he thought he was going to the getaway and he went to the wrong address.
Yes, he went to the house. He told some. I'm outside. I think. I'm like, what you mean you outside? I'm like, I ain't there no more.
So you forgot to give him the memo, or he didn't pay attention to the memo. Which one?
The second one.
Okay.
because we have I mean, y'all part of the group chat, you know what I'm saying? We haven't had no discussions of any in-person shows and since Justin Tatum was here.
Right.
So I'm sorry, Justin Tatum was here. So I'm like, dude, how come you didn't say nothing?
Because I brought it up last week. I thought I asked you that. Maybe it wasn't on the air, but I asked you. I know you said, you got relocated, so
yeah, got married and moved out the old spot.
He said he thinks so. It must have been pitch black outside, or he must have been ringing the doorbell a few times.
Yeah, because he was like, man, it looks real empty out there.
Wow.
Is it a bit of a drive from the old place to your house now?
Let's see. From the old spot, I'd probably say it's a good maybe 15 minutes. Yeah. Out there in Florissant. So, better neighborhood, lovely house. As you can see, I got the backdrop. One of our rooms is what you see here. So got the grand piano, chilling.
Fancy smashy with it. Okay.
Yeah. So shouts out to my wife, Jayance. She loves music like I do, and she wants to take it more serious in regards to like getting piano lessons and the whole nine. And I won't mind getting a little bit too. I'm a drummer, but I don't have those skills in regards to playing a note or whatever. So, we may get to that point where we eventually be musically inclined in regards to all facets. But yeah. But I'm like, this dude here. Okay, you didn't let me know.
But you know what? He didn't even say in the chat that he was gonna be live in person. Usually he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in person."
Exactly.
Or maybe you usually ask. That's probably what it is, and you didn't ask this time.
Yeah, but it's all good. He plans on hopefully, he arrives back home safely. Then later on, he'll be joining us on the show. In the meantime, everybody, please make sure that y'all go ahead and like and share. Do the whole nine. You see us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Give us that follow. Just put in the Platform Sports Talk Show. We are now on Roku as well. And also
Mhm.
make sure you go on YouTube to subscribe and click on that.
Good old bell. I don't have my bell ringer with me tonight.
Yeah, but because anytime you go on YouTube, you subscribe, click on that bell, what happens, Joe?
Everybody will be notified. Just everybody.
Everybody get that big old notification like, uh-oh, the platform sports talk show is on. Let's get it popping. So speaking of getting it popping right now, as you see, Joe is rocking her Astros jersey. MLB playoffs is going crazy right now. But there is one team that did not make it past the wild card round. Happened last week. Pretty disappointing. And that was our hometown team, the St. Louis Cardinals. Joe, I'll start with you. I know it's been a week now, so of course we don't have that same feeling like it was initially, but just how disappointed were you about that game and, the Cardinals not going even further along in the playoffs?
I mean, it's hard to say I'm disappointed because of the type of year we had and that awesome run they gave us there towards the end. It made it fun watching Cardinals baseball again. It's disappointing that the big bats didn't come out, but the way it ended, it didn't really surprise me. It's just one run, the same way we scored a run off Max Scherzer in September, pass ball, so you got to score off him. And Waino did everything he could. Just the big bats didn't come out, O'Neill and Nato, and even, Goldie got on base a couple times, but it was only really him, Bader, and Edman that got on base, so it's disappointing, but I didn't really go into it expecting the Cardinals to win against Max Scherzer at Dodger Stadium. It was more of a, if we win, that's awesome, and I could see us going deep if we won, but it is what it is.
And Bunny, how about yourself?
Muted.
Okay, there we go.
You know what? And I do that at work all the time, but that's always not my fault. Anyway.
Right. Now it's playing.
It's not. It's just how we use Microsoft Teams. It's just how it comes up. It always starts you off muted. But anyway, so the 17-game winning streak was wonderful. Sorry that we had the one playoff game loss, but overall, I liked how we did almost another Hollywood story. Just to have that winning streak to get us back momentum to even get into a wild card playoff spot. So yes, we lost. Disappointed, but we had so much adrenaline. We were so happy for all those weeks in September. So I wish we would be still playing now, but at the same time, I'm like, that win streak was good. We saw what we are about now. So next season, couple of tweaks, but we should be able to rock and roll. We just can't wait so late in the season to get our together. So we don't have to lean on the wild card spots anymore. Like Milwaukee in our division had the lead, and end of the season, we were only 8 games behind them. So we would have squeezed out 10 more wins. We would have had the division, but we waited too late to get our momentum going. So it's some positive for next season. I'm thrilled to see, and I know Joe Bo, you always say when it comes to the DH for next year that it'll be good, but we shall see. But yeah, I'm more happy.
I will say one thing, and Fred, I'm sure you heard it because you listen to one all day long, but a couple weeks ago, Mo pretty much straight up said, we're getting guys to just help us get through the year. That's what they did with J.A. Happ. That's what they did with John Lester, Wade LeBlanc. Everyone always forgets about LeBlanc. That's what they did. They helped us get through the year, and he said our best case scenario is going to be a wild card spot, and if we win, that's awesome. That's what happened, like Mo and company are going to have to make moves this offseason, but what they did this year, obviously it didn't, we didn't come out on top, best in the game, but it was still a fun, exciting run down the stretch, and I still had a good time.
Yeah, but we say that every year that Mo has to do stuff in the offseason. That's his job, clearly. And we know the baseball winter meetings is in January. Or no, I'm lying. That's the Cardinal winter warm-up. Baseball meetings is when? December? Okay. So we know he's going to be doing this thing, but it's still the Cardinal way. Y'all know they don't open up their wallets unless it's for pitchers. But the bats, we know we have them. It just took a while to get it going. Like I said, if we would have had this momentum we had in September and August, then yeah, we would have given Milwaukee a run for their money. Milwaukee got to off a hot
Exactly.
start. They cooled down some, but surprisingly, they still would win it. Because usually in the last like 3 seasons, they would start off hot, and at the All-Star break, they fall off, and that's how the Cardinals would still, catch up with them. But it didn't happen this year. But the Cardinals got some steam. Which just I want to say a little too late because we did squeeze the wild card. But next year we don't want to be in this position. Either get the division or let's say expand. Well, the wild card is not just a one playing game, but yeah. Overall, I'm satisfied.
If you pay attention to baseball all year long, the Brewers did not hit all year long. Okay, they're probably one of the worst offensive teams in baseball this year. They made it because of their pitching. What happened in May? We lost our ace. And he had 9 wins already at that point. So I mean, I do think the pitching, our pitchers, losing in spring training. KK went down in spring training. Flaherty went down in May. We saw how big of an impact, well, not impact because we were already there, but we saw how good Dakota Hudson looked his last, couple outings. They go out and get one pitcher, and then, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to get a bat because we all know how that works. It's not going to be with money. It's going to be with the trade. I think our bats could be enough, though, if you have the right pitching. Our defense is the best in the game. So, I mean, like I said, Milwaukee did not hit all year, and they won the division. It's their top 3 pitchers is what won the division.
So what I would say in regards to the season, I do feel, because Bunny, as you said before, they spend money more so on the pitching. But I think this offseason, it definitely needs to change that mindset. Of course, still want to get some great pitching, especially in the bullpen and starting pitching. But this needs to be the offseason in which they do go for that big splash of a bat, especially at shortstop. Whether it's Seager or Correa, even though I have a feeling that he may go to the Detroit Tigers, because I know AJ Hinch, Joe, former manager of the Astros, is now with Detroit, and they was playing some good ball leading to the end of the season. So that team's on the rise. But I was hurt in regards to the Cardinals losing last Wednesday. I think that 17-game winning streak, it was like a big, it felt great, but it was like a tease because like you said, Bunny, if that could have happened earlier in the season, we could be not even worrying about the wild card. We could have had an actual series. And me thinking about mentally how great it would have been for Arenado to experience Red October. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that almost 50,000 people, white towels going, St. Louis, showing out on the big stage, would have been on TBS, the whole nine, for the Dylan Carlsons, Tyler O'Neil's, those kind of guys, to be able to have that experience. It just would have been great for us to have that moment to be on that big stage and doing a full series, because I feel like we would have been a great matchup for the Giants, because we saw what happened during the regular season. But I do feel like overall that the team needs to have a different approach this offseason. Yes, we did get, of course, Arenado this past year via the trade and everything. But definitely need to be aggressive going into this offseason and really making a splash. The reason why I say that is because, O'Neal had a great last month, but then you saw what happened in the playoffs. The lights got bright, and he looked like he was lost. Like he had no idea what pitch was coming. Bader, he did good, so I shout out to him. Carlson, he didn't have a great. He had one base hit. Yeah. But like you said before, Joe, the Arenado, O'Neal, when it came down to it, they didn't deliver. So the same way that I will hold people like Matt Carpenter and DeYoung, hold them accountable, I got to do the same thing with Arenado, same thing with O'Neal. Y'all guys are put in those positions for a reason, and y'all didn't show up when it mattered. So I had to be fair. But with that being said, I still have to feel that Tyler O'Neal consistently can be that guy that can come up in the clutch. And at first he was showing me that he could, But then the wild card game came, and it was kind of like he kind of reverted back to the June, July. So this team, to me, the focus needs to be on guys who know who can deliver when men in scoring position. That's been our biggest issue for the last couple of years, is getting guys who can perform with men in scoring position. And hopefully getting like a Corey Seager or a Trevor Story type guy, people, or
so
even like a Kyle Schwarber.
Still?
Yes, definitely had to have one more back.
Okay.
Yes. And you know, like Joe was saying, or like you saying, Bunny, the DH is coming. So guys like Kyle Schwarber, you know, someone who you don't have to say, I'm gonna give Arenado or off days. I'm gonna put him in the DH spot. You know, get someone who was made for that role, who can play that position every day, pretty much. So either it's going to be DH or you have to get a premium bat. You have to be aggressive this offseason. But with that being said, Joe, if you were the manager of the team and spring training is coming, what message do you think you would tell the team in regards to what needs to be our primary focus leading into the 2022 season?
Maybe not like a primary focus, but just a message that Stl could say is, you guys saw what we did last year. You know, like they have almost all the puzzle pieces to do it. You know, like we know there's good guys on this team. There's good names on the roster. There's good pitchers. There's good hitters. They gotta string it all together. It was a weird year, you know, but Stl just gotta. Everyone makes fun of it. He's a you know, a player's guy, a manager, whatever. That's not a bad thing. Every single player in that clubhouse raves about him. And, I mean, I think he did his job right this year. People just over-exaggerate. He just needs to go in there and tell them that we're a good team, and we've seen what we're capable of in September. You know, we have one bad month that we played 300. Every other month we played above 500 baseball. Just that one bad month after we lost Flaherty. So, you know, just be that manager. You know, he's there for the guys. Be positive. Everyone makes fun of it. His galley, but I mean, they play for him. They play hard for him.
Bunny, how about yourself? What kind of message would you get a team first day of spring training in regards to what we need to really focus on this year or for the next season?
Well, pretty much it's consistency, and we look at that more the offense. The defense, remember, was trash, but the defense got their shit together. So we can't even say just focus on defense anymore. They got that together. But consistency with offense, and even we can do more aggressive base running. That doesn't seem like a Stl style per se, but sometimes the individual player can put it on themselves. Whatever you need to do to get in scoring position. So we can't get it done with the bat, but you get to first, find a way to get in scoring position. So stealing. So that I think my two. Now pitching, of course, whole different ball game with that, specifically the bullpen. But besides that, yeah, consistency and bats and stealing.
We were one of the best base running teams there at the end of the year. I think second half of the year. Like, they've always been good at that. At the beginning of the year, they didn't show it. Second part of the year, they're like, okay, we got to make a run at this, and so they did. But
that's why I say if you're consistent with it, sure.
You can't do it for, like, no one's going to be playing with their hair on fire 162 games a year.
Correct.
That's not, you know, physically possible. But, yeah, I mean, I get it. A little more consistency maybe with that. But base running, I think, is the least of our problems. You remember back in the Matheny days, defense and base running was our worst.
Correct. It was horrible. But that's what I was saying as far as if we're talking about consistency and get to scoring position, stealing second. If you can get on base, find a way to get to the scoring position, because we knew how sometimes manufacturing runs is hard. We can't always depend on the bats. And I'm not saying the same people, because it's a team effort. So like you said, you can't be on fire 162 games. Yes, it's impossible. However, if you hot, good, another person's not, but you can manufacture the walk or something, find a way to get in scoring position. Now, again, because, you know, we struggle with that, getting people to advance the runner. Not even getting home, just advancing the runner. We had no outs, 1 out, still can get somebody past third. It's like, come on. So stuff like that.
But we went 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position that wild card game. And this is why I'm not trying to, like, freak out too much about this wild card games, because we faced Max Scherzer, guys. Like we're talking about Max Scherzer, Hall of Famer. Yeah, two bad starts to end the year, but he could have just been messing with some things to go into it. You know, like they were good. They were gonna be fine. If they were gonna be in the wild card game, they were gonna have home field advantage. They were gonna be completely fine. So those 2 stars didn't really mean anything. You know, like it's Max Scherzer. We left men in scoring position. They have one of the best bullpens in the game. They won at the time, I think, 16 straight at home. You know, like it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, scoring with runners in scoring position, that needs to be better next year. But we'll see.
And I do expect the Cardinals next season to win the division. I don't see the Brewers being the better team like they were this year. That's just my opinion.
But that pitching is good though, y'all. And they young.
It's good, but
like
young. Joe said, their offense isn't good, isn't better than us. Our defense is better than theirs, and then have another year of Flaherty being healthy, Michaelis, and then hopefully they get some pitching, bring back Waino. The bullpen's gonna be solid. You're gonna have Jordan Hicks coming back. You're gonna have some other cats who didn't maybe play this year, maybe like Liberatore. He may finally get a call up. So we got some guys coming too. So I definitely expect the Cardinals to win the division next year. And I think from what I heard that they might not even have the wild card anymore after this year anyway. So that's that in regards to the wild card game. But Joe.
So they're gonna do it. Wait, when you said they're not gonna have a wild card, so they're gonna do it where it's more teams.
The wild card game. Right. Yeah. So
what is it? So it means it's gonna be actual wild card game. 8 teams for each conference league.
League.
Or two teams from each division. How they doing it?
Well, pretty much it just won't be no more one game to decide who goes to the playoffs. It's gonna be more than likely it's gonna be a series itself for just a one game. So they haven't put out what's gonna be the actual format yet. But I'm pretty sure that what's been going on these last few years is not going to be going on anymore.
So I know the thing they're probably gonna do what they did last year. You know how we faced the Padres. It's probably gonna be a best of 3. The stupid thing is the only reason why they're doing this now. It's not because there's a CBA. It's because their precious Dodgers were a wild card team. That's the only reason why they're doing this. Because people have been saying this for years now that it should be a series and not just one game. Because one game, anything can happen. But now I was thinking Dodgers won 106 and they didn't win the division. Oh, they're gonna, they're all butt sore about it. So now they're gonna change things.
Well, I was thinking maybe not that, but on the same way. You don't have money in 2 seasons in a row. You've lost some money. Playing one game playoff does not generate enough money. You need a series to make up for money. The Dodgers, is a big market. Now, granted, they looked up and went on. But even if if we won, they didn't. It's still, St. Louis is a big Cardinal baseball. We're still a big baseball market. You still don't make enough money. You got to have more teams. That's why I understand what took them so long to even expand the playoffs. Because this is all about money, because it's a business. You would have been expanded it. I mean, hell, the NBA got hit to it. That's with the bubble, and they're going to keep it going. It makes it to a playing game, this and that. Give more teams opportunity. The more teams that play, the more money your league gets. So the Dodgers, if they were in the Giants play, but they were guaranteed to shoe in, I think they still would have done this rule change because it helps generate more money.
So continuing on real quick with the Dodgers and Giants series tomorrow night, Game 5. It's been a great series. Look forward to it. Who y'all feel gonna win that game tomorrow night?
If Logan Webb does what he did last Friday, Dodgers can't touch him. I mean, he looked filthy. I don't know if you watched that game, but that place was rocking. He was, his changeup was filthy. Everything was filthy. So, and I'm assuming the Dodgers are gonna pitch Urias. He was dominant in game 2. So, I mean, this is the thing. We're gonna think it's like a 2-1 score. It's probably gonna be like 8-9 or something, 9-8. But who knows? I mean, it's Dodgers Giants. MLB got what they wanted. Honestly, 5 games between one of the biggest rivalries in sports. So,
yeah. What about you, Bunny?
Definitely see the Giants pulling this off.
You said
maybe
definitely.
Close, maybe not. But I see the Giants pulling it off.
So I was gonna say Giants at first, but I'm the kind of person that you can't wake up a sleeping bear. And last night, the Giants did that. The Giants had the opportunity to get rid of the Dodgers, and the Dodgers, as y'all know, they have a deep squad, and they have the kind of squad that can make noise whether you're on the road, whether you're at home, whether you're in Japan, whether you're on the block. It don't matter. That team is so explosive. So I have a feeling that the Dodgers are going to win, but we shall see. In the
They
AL,
did
it's
substitute
already
with
set.
Pujols. That helped yesterday too. They did put
Yeah,
Pujols in.
that was cool. That was
So-
definitely cool. In the ALCS, it's already set. Boston Red Sox, Houston Astros. Joe, with the Astros succeeding in the playoffs, does that lessen the blow of the Cardinals not being in the playoffs because you have a different team to, focus on?
Yeah, a little bit. But this, like I said though, I wasn't that upset. You know what happened? I was on like beer 8, okay, last Wednesday.
You said beer number 8.
Something like that.
He was throwing them back.
I was so nervous. I was just,
I Stone Cold Joe Bova.
He was throwing them back.
I was just like,
you needed a cake.
Standing up whenever DeYoung jumped up and snatched that ball off of
right.
Seager's bat or something. I don't know, but no, Turner. I was standing up whenever that happened. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I sat down on the floor, and as soon as Chris Taylor hit that ball, I went.
Right. That's how I was too.
Back on the ground. I sat there. Brennan was talking. I wasn't replying. And he knew I was just kind of upset. Went to bed. Room was spinning. And I woke up the next day, and I was like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, you can't point fingers at anyone. It was a weird year. And then I got the Astros, and we good. We good. I like seeing people mad about the Astros. Makes me happy. So we're good.
Petty.
I love it.
No, trolling. Trolling, that's what it is.
Yeah, I just got me a new shirt, the one that says Hose Mad on it for the Astros, and I got me a onesie that says H-Town versus everybody. So I'm excited, The Red Sox scare the hell out of me though because they've been hot. So
they have, and they definitely did a good job against the Rays. I do have to say this though, man. I love Randy Arozarena. That dude, I love him. You know what I'm saying? Yes, okay, the outfield of the Cardinals, they set for years down the road, but Randy Arozarena just knows how to shine when the lights are bright. Doing the perfect time of the month. He just knows how to come through, and that's what I really hope that O'Neal. I'm not gonna really say Bader, but between O'Neal and Carlson, we need one of those guys to really just be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like men on base hit, or you're scoring a run. You making things happen to keep the team going. That's what we're missing, and that's why it sucks that we got rid of Randy A, because he's doing the things that we've been wanting someone to do. But we can only hope that next year O'Neal, Carlson, or you get of course Arenado and Goldie. But in regards to just having the youth, come up, we just really want to have someone to just really shine when men in scoring position. That's my biggest thing. But Boston, like you said, Joe, here to go again. And then 5 years straight, ALCS, Houston Astros, whether it's with trash cans, with buzzers or not, they still there. So I do have to respect them.
I'm going to say something. Ryan Tepera effed up.
Yeah, he did. He lit a fire, and that was it.
Anytime someone talks, Astros come through, and it's always my guy Correa that does it too. And then Altuve had freaking moonshot off of Liam Hendricks in the 9th inning. I was screaming, I was laughing because it's Altuve, he's my guy too. But yeah, Correa, this is my thing. I don't want Correa to leave Houston because of what he means to that team, to that city. But damn, if the Cardinals had Carlos Correa, woo! Oh my gosh! Now he's that guy. Runners in scoring position. He loves those big moments, like Dusty Baker compared to Hank Aaron when it comes to those big moments, and that's big. So, yeah, it was awesome, and I can't wait for the CS. It's just going to the Red Sox spook me out, man.
Yeah,
they got hot at the right time. Kevin Kiermaier was talking about saying, we got the champagne delivering to Boston. We're good to go. And the Red Sox banked them.
Yep, they do what they do. But once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, along with.
Funny.
And Jobo.
Make sure y'all get them shares going, get them likes, get them retweets, the whole nine. Because once again, we have a incredible, incredible show for you. And now, everyone, it is about that time on your Wednesday night sports delight. I believe she is ready to rock and roll. This woman here, when I say she is a very talented young lady, does a whole lot for the Lou. As you see on the promos, she is on Fox 2. She is on Channel 11. She is a sports reporter, sports/news reporter, also an anchor. So you see her out there in the streets doing different reports, whether it's sports related or once again, just around the local area. Very, very talented individual. She does a whole lot for the community. If you don't know about her, shame on you. Hopefully by the end of this show tonight, you have another appreciation for her. We look forward to hearing her story. She is a product of Bristol, went to Pattonville High School. I think we had about 4 or 5 people from Pattonville, Bunny, on our show. Is that right?
Yeah, we've had men's basketball, women's
Yeah.
basketball, assistant coach.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Pattonville representing on the Platform Sports Talk Show. She went to Florida Gulf Coast University, where she had her master's degree in criminal justice. So I don't know, she might be the next Anna Keaton. Watch out, y'all. Don't play no games with her. But she's definitely a beast. And I'm gonna tell a cool little story once we get her on. But everyone, without any further ado, let's go ahead and show some love, get them emojis, and also bring them comments. Let's go. Hit that like, share this stream. Let's have a good time because this is all about her right now. Without any further ado, Mikala, they call him Money McGhee.
Where that money reside? Right there.
What's happening, Mikala? How you doing?
Doing well. How are y'all?
Man, we are doing real. It's great to have you on the show. We know that you are a very, very busy woman, so thank you very much for taking time out to be part of our show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, Bunny? Good to see you.
Hey, girl. Well, you seeing me from the chest up for a reason, because
about it. I literally just rushed off work, rushed back here, tried to get on, and I was tripping because I was having some connection issues. So hopefully I don't cut out on you guys, but if I do, I'll call right back in.
Got blame it on your. Oh dang! No, we're gonna blame it on the alcohol. No, never mind. But anyway,
water.
Anyway. Oh, so she says it's water, y'all. We're gonna keep it like that. So she says. But she actually is returning to the show because she was on Ladies Night a few months back. It was a great show, and definitely want to bring her back on here. But also another story. So I was having a date night, back at the time, my fiance, now my wife, Jamie. So shouts out to you, Jamie. And we was across the way. We was over at Westport Social. So we was at Westport Social. We chilling, having a good time. So then I looked over like behind me because we had the hoops facing this way, then you have the other hoop facing the other way. So I turned around and I'm like, I'm seeing that this woman just shooting buckets, like it's going in like nonstop. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Now she kind of look familiar. Is that who I think that is? I'm not real sure. But she just kept on just busting J's. Boom, boom, boom. So then Jamie and I was about to leave along with my best friend and his wife. And so I'm walking towards her area because my jacket and I think my skull cap, whatever, it was still on a table that she was sitting at. So I walked up to her, and first thing she said was, DJ Smooth. And I'm like, I knew that was you, Mikala. It was her just busting J's on them hoops over at Westport Social. Let me see her. I don't know if her connection is off right now.
Oh, Money McGhee.
Hold on.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right, am I back? I don't know what is going on.
Yep, you're back.
I live in color.
Okay, you back. But yeah, like I said, I saw a woman hooping, and then I walked over towards the table, and first thing I heard was DJ Smoooth, and I'm like, hey, that was you hooping. showing them skills. I'm like, that's right. She is a hooper.
I had to win some money. Money was on the line, so I was coming full force.
Money, living up to the Money McGhee name. There you go.
You already know.
Yeah, she a hustler, y'all. But once again, it's great to have you. It's great to have you on the show. I know Joe, you have to go ahead and go. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I can stay till 8, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So
that's me too. That's some kind of
poor Bunny. Oh, ain't know what, Bunny. Speaking of which, why don't you go ahead and just kind of like let everybody know about your plans for the show for the next few weeks or month, real quick.
We have 2 more weeks or 2 more Wednesdays in October. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I'll be doing the show up to the end of October. Can't finish the whole show, you all. I wish, but I don't have it anymore. And then I'll go on my hiatus in November until I don't know when. Like, I don't know how many weeks I'll be on my hiatus, but we'll see. Same thing with work, because I don't know when I'll be off for a few weeks. So I'll still try to tune in when I can, but I'm going to have a lack of sleep for some weeks. So I ain't no guarantees, but yeah. So I'm going to miss doing ladies' nights for a few first Wednesdays, and I missed the show for a few weeks, you all. But still tune in, and I still try to keep my ears to the streets on what's going on the platform Sports Talk Show.
There it is. So, Money McGhee, tell everybody real quick, where did they get money from?
Oh, right when it gets good.
So it was actually really funny. Wait, am I back?
You back and you freeze, and you're back and you're freezing.
Hey, y'all! She got that Wi-Fi that Nelly had.
Don't do that. Hey, because Nelly did good at the BET Awards.
I don't know why. I always do all of my stuff right here, so I don't. Should I move real quick? I mean, what should I do?
Yeah. Find a better location and then just join us back real quick or something. So we'll hold you down.
Yeah, hold on.
All right, we got you.
Smoooth, don't go for Nelly because he did good at the BET Hip Hop Award show. His performance was hot. Come on now. Made up for that versus battle. He made up for it.
And speaking of which, because I was telling my wife this, I'm like, now that you're seeing all these shows, the verses and they in person, I wish that they can ask Nelly and Ludacris to come back and do it in person. Can you imagine how that show would be now compared to how it was when they had the Wi-Fi issue? That versus would be just as good as the Ja Rule and Fat Joe and
or
the
Jada
Locks and Dipset.
And Dipset, man.
Yeah.
With the name dropping some guys I remember listening to when I used to listen to the radio and stuff. I don't do that anymore, but like Jadakiss, I haven't heard that name in forever.
But know what? The versus battle does help resurface artists that when we would listen to in high school or middle school, how some of the songs you forgot are like, oh, this person was so cold. Because when you hear the stuff that's out now, in general, to me, it's trash compared to the stuff we heard growing up. All the verses.
And especially Ja Rule, I felt so happy for him because like he held that down and he was singing like he was smart. He kept with the mainstream hits that they're gonna have the ladies singing with him and everything. He was smart with how he did his set. I loved it, and I think that really like reminded everyone how dope that he is. It is unfortunate that he allowed 50 Cent to take him out of his game and his character. But I was really happy for Ja Rule. He came through and held that down. Fat Joe, he cool, but Ja Rule, I think
that Ja Rule and singing songs that the ladies can sing. That always makes you think of the Ja Rule and Ashanti song. They did the Grease video. I like that song.
Right. All right, so I believe we have Money McGhee back. Wait a minute, she walking around, but I am loving the background. She has some nice decor on the walls. You guys show us real quick. You on mute right now, Mikala.
Okay,
There you go.
Better location and all the Wi-Fi vibes coming in. Okay.
There we go. You got to show us a little bit of your backdrop. I like what you got. What's that, family right there? I like that.
Says we say grace and bless hearts and the flag we live in. God blessings. We go on long walks and love our country. We grow gardens and give we know our neighbor and work hard. We marry for love. We honor God. We are.
There we go.
A pledge.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, and let's see, Bunny, you on mute again.
Whew.
I don't know. She was trying to say something. Just want to make sure we ain't missing out what Bunny was saying. Okay, so it look like her phone cut out. Let's see, Joe, you good over there?
Yeah, she was probably. I was hearing something. It sounded like a robot. For a little bit,
some little static was going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we apologize for any technical issues, y'all. Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. We online, using what Andy Greer says, Al Gore's internet. So we're gonna do the best that we can with this stream. Give me 1 minute here. Okay, just want to make sure everybody's good. Mikala, you good over there?
I am good. I'm ready to rock.
All right, cool. Let's go. So, as I was asking you earlier, why do everyone call you Money McGhee?
Okay, so, well, first of all, I mean, you can always bank on me, duh. But no, what really happened is...
I like it.
What really happened is the photog who I was really working a lot with at the time, his name is Wyatt, and we always called ourselves the money team. And when I started doing sports with Prep Zone, and he was like, you know what? I think like that's your thing, because I call him Big Whip because he drives this big, van everywhere. And he's like, you're the money. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I was like, Mikala Money McGhee. And he was like, that should be your sports coin. Like when you do sports, just be Money McGhee. So we got on Prep Zone and I said, reporting Money McGhee. And then Charlie kind of caught on to it and he loved it. So he just started calling me Money McGhee. And it's just been a thing ever since.
There it is. In that order.
Like that.
I guess it's not the coolest story, but it is what it is.
It works.
Right.
Exactly. No, It kind of fits, because I think once you brought that name out during Ladies Night, they were all like, okay, I like that. Money McGhee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's cool. In the community, like everywhere I go, I always hear somebody like, hey, Money, you're Money McGhee. So it's been fun. I love it.
So
you got that theme song when you walk out. Money.
Money. So with that being said, do you feel like you are like a rock star celebrity when they see you, out there in the streets doing your thing in regards to reporting?
No, I don't feel like a rock star at all. I mean, I'm from St. Louis. This is my home. These are my people. I love. I know a lot of people, but even the people who I have met, it just feels like love. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the people who watch and support me, and I love getting to meet people when I'm out. I always encourage people to come say hi and what's up. It's still a little weird. We're like, oh, we watch you every night. Like, we love you, because I don't even think of it on the TV aspect of it. I just think of it like, yeah, it's just all love.
That's what's up. So a question that we always have to ask our guests, not the high school question. We know we're saying St. Louis, but we always have to ask this question to our special guest is, when will you say was that moment you fell in love with sports?
Oh my gosh. Like out the womb. I mean, my whole life has always been active. I've always been in sports. I literally, got into like CYC and organized sports probably around 4, 5 years old. So yeah. So I mean, I've always been a multi-sport athlete. I even dabbled in, like dance and whatnot, gymnastics. I actually did up until I got into middle school, because I got so high up in the levels. They were like, you have to pick between gymnastics and your team sports. And I was starting to get taller, and I knew I wanted to go to college and either play basketball or soccer. So I chose my team sports. But sports have been my entire childhood to, my mid-adulthood. And I still get to continue that passion with reporting it and supporting, in a different type of way. So, I mean, I love it. It's a lifestyle.
And what would you say was your very first sport that you played?
I got into gymnastics first before anything. My mom was actually a collegiate gymnast at Mizzou, and that's where she met my dad, and he was a football player at Mizzou. So the first thing we ever got into, all three, like me and my two sisters, was gymnastics, which I'm so thankful for because I feel like it really gave me awareness of my body and everything, even at a young age. But then I got into soccer. I think soccer was the first sport that I started in.
Cool. Yeah, I recall I used to work at the back then there was an Alsmark Hotel, now it's the Hyatt Regency. And my first encounter with seeing gymnastics was when they had this like gymnastics tournament or something at the hotel in one of the big ballrooms. Right. So I was like up close and personal, and I'm like, man, this is dope. Just seeing these women, and I think it was all women that was there for this thing. Yeah. But just seeing the talent, seeing how much it takes to really get into that craft of knowing how to be not just a regular gymnast, but to be efficient, to be elite, and what they go through. So definitely respect to the gymnasts. And I know that you saw some gymnasts when you went to the Dome a few months ago.
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely incredible. So I did get to cover the U.S. Gymnastics Olympic team trials when they were down at the Dome. I got to see Simone Biles. It was absolutely amazing. And funny story is I've met her prior to that moment. So we've actually had conversations, we've hung out, and she's just such a bubbly and fun person. So actually getting to watch her in real life do what she does and seeing how elite she really is, it was absolutely incredible. It was one of the best sporting experiences of my life. So I'm very happy I got to cover that.
Man, and you mentioned CYC. I ain't heard that in so long. Girl, we all heard CYC. I was like, what? CYC? Yes.
So Bunny or Mikala, tell us, for those who are not aware, what is the CYC?
It's like a church league, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, church youth league.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it stands for, but
I want to say was it Catholic Youth Council? I want to say something like that, or Church Youth Council, something like that.
Yeah, I used to be a St. Blaise girl before it was Holy Spirit, but then I transitioned to Holy Spirit. So.
And see, I wish Stan was on right now, because then he would have brought up, his time
doing the Jewish League.
He would have brought up those times as a Jewish League Hall of Famer.
Oh God.
I was at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Our school closed after my 5th grade year. But yeah, it was other schools that was in. Mm-hmm.
So who was the person that like exposed you to gymnastics and soccer at that time when you was young?
Well, my mom, obviously, for gymnastics, because she was a gymnast. And then really both my parents kind of just threw me into everything. I think they realized at a young age I was, pretty athletic. So they just threw me into everything to see what I was good at, and happened to be good at a couple things. So we stuck with basketball, soccer, and softball in the long run.
So what about Ken? Like any brothers or sisters who also, you were competing with as you was matriculating during your younger sports years?
My cousins. I played basketball with on the same team as my cousins. They were older than me, but I played up with them. I don't know if anybody even remembers Gateway basketball.
Oh yeah.
I used to play with them, but they ended up falling out of it. And everyone in my family, honestly, is athletic. But my two sisters, they stuck with gymnastics a lot longer. And then when they quit gymnastics, they kind of got more into like the cheer and dance side of things. So it was kind of just always, like me and my friends.
Nice. Yeah. So you went to Pattonville High School. How would you say your experience was in Pattonville?
I absolutely love Pattonville. I will proudly support Pattonville to the day I die. I feel like a lot of good people have come out of that school, a lot of successful people. I feel like that school provides a lot of opportunities for you to explore, different avenues of things that you're interested in. And Yeah, I mean, I loved my sports team. I went to state 2 times for soccer. We didn't
Okay.
win, unfortunately, but we were one of the first teams to get there. Whenever I was there, we never went to state for basketball either, but we did improve every single season. My last season, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. My last season, I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm on
I
this
love the authenticity.
stuff.
Hey, tell them to go to the platform sports talk show.
Right.
Come check you out.
Listen to the interview.
Right. Okay. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I enjoyed my time. And again, we never went to state for basketball. My senior year, we actually played Incarnate Word in the district championship to go on. And we ended up losing, but we were winning at halftime. And I was so convinced we were going to beat them. And everyone knows, like at that time, especially Incarnate Word was the team to beat. All the girls who I played like AAU basketball with were playing with them. So it was a really competitive game. But I set a lot of records at my school. I was proud of my career and went on to play Division I basketball, so I can't complain.
Okay.
Awesome,
So let's see. So soccer, and you played basketball and Pattonville. What sports did you play?
Softball.
So okay, look at you.
Okay, you and Jobo, the softball girls. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Joe, I don't think she told me this like in front of everybody, but I think she had like a plaque or something, or she in the Hall of Fame as a catcher for her time at playing baseball or softball, right?
I was like a top catcher in the state.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Catching is a hard position. I wouldn't want the responsibilities. So.
I miss it, but now that I'm older and I have a baby, I'm like my knees hurt and there's no
right.
It hurts me to even think about it now.
Oh my God. Wait till you still start chasing little baby Joe around. No, she just starting to walk, right? Or trying to walk.
No, she's crawling all over the place or like sliding herself a little bit, and she's walking really fast in her walker, so it's coming.
Yeah, so you really gonna be like, my knees, I'm tired of chasing you, girl. Give mommy a break.
Yeah.
So Mikala, what position did you play in soccer and basketball and in softball?
Okay, well, we'll start with basketball. I was always kind of like a tweener. In high school, I played every single position, but when I got to college, I was like a 2 through 4, wherever they really needed me at that time. Soccer, I was a center midfielder and also a defensive back. And in softball, I was center field and shortstop.
Okay. So for your parents, it was pretty much like important for you to play multiple sports, keep you as active as possible. Is that right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my parents live very healthy lifestyles, and we were introduced, to like fruits and vegetables very early. I mean, I really do credit my mom for that. She was very into, health and fitness, and then my dad just being athletic. He just loved to be around sport with us as well. So they're really a big reason why I've had the success I've had in athletics. And yeah, I mean, shout out to them. While we're on that topic, it really saddens me that kids don't really play multiple sports like that anymore. I'm not a big fan of sport specific at a young age, but that's just me.
No, it's the truth
with that. I was gonna talk about that later, but I don't have time. It's twofold because it's not always on parents; it's on coaches too. Some coaches don't want their kids, especially when they hit the middle school, concentrate on one sport, and that's sometimes the players I think get cheated, and then especially with the whole people try to do especially with baseball, I want to save their arm, I want to do this, so I'm just strictly baseball year round, and they tear a muscle or something. Middle school, right? We ain't in high school yet doing this stuff, but it's like they want to focus on it because, of course, to get a scholarship, and it's like that's not fair to the child. But if the child is fine with it, I mean, because they don't know any better. But a lot of older athletes will tell you they did multiple sports. Every spring, fall, summer, they're in something different. Now it's like even coaches are pushing, especially if you have a basketball player that want to do football. You have basketball coaches win them away. Nope. And it's like, dang.
Also, sports are so expensive. Like, I mean, like as a catcher, my Christmas gifts were new catching gear. That's that. I didn't get anything else.
Right.
Because it's so expensive, but I was okay with that because that's what I wanted. But I mean, hockey, football, softball, everything. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
You want to do multiple of them, that's brutal.
Money McGee, let me ask you this because we didn't play soccer, but I had 2 siblings, so 3 of us, and we had a minivan, one of the first in the not just the block, the neighborhood. We had a minivan in the 80s, honey, and we had another one when that died. So did your mom have a soccer mom van too?
No, my mom never had a soccer mom van. My mom's a little wild. She had like this little spider convertible that nobody could even fit in. So she finally,
okay.
She finally get to that joint. And so, I mean, at that point, I was rolling around with my best friend and her mom, and she had a big like Trailblazer. So that's what we would pull up in.
Oh, okay. Y'all was hip then, baby. We was in our minivan. And like I said, when the first one died, we got another one, honey. We was in minivans like my whole life. I remember at least one car was a minivan, the other one was a car. And we was always in a minivan.
Definition of soccer mom.
And we piled a basketball team when I was in the CYC league. We would pile a basketball team in the minivan.
I had to.
Girl.
So you mentioned how you pretty much had a scholarship for basketball. What was it about basketball that you feel maybe set you apart from softball and playing soccer?
Well, I kind of always knew. I mean, softball I kind of just did to stay busy in the spring, but soccer was honestly my best sport. That was probably what I was the best in, and I got my biggest offers. I mean, I was getting offers from Maryland, Florida, like power conference schools to go play soccer. But in my heart, I just had this hoop dream for whatever reason. And I was like, I want to go play basketball. I thought I was freaking Monica off loving basketball.
I was going to say the same thing.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to go hoop. Like, I'm going to be that girl. And it was fun. It ended up turning out really well because I have a very strong passion for basketball, and it was a sport that I had to work in to get better. Like soccer, I was just good, and I didn't really have to do much to be good. I just had that natural ability, but with basketball, I really had to work. And I think that's what attracted to me to it was the challenge of it. And it did bring its stresses when I got to college, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely enjoyed my collegiate experience as a Division I basketball player. If I could go back, I probably would have picked soccer, but I had a good time.
I was going to ask that too. I was going to ask that question. Like, if you had another chance around, would you choose soccer? But you didn't answer that question for me.
Mm-hmm. I definitely would have.
So how would you... And I have all the respect for soccer players because I played soccer in high school. I played tennis. I played baseball and basketball. And I actually had a scholarship for those who just like, really? You did? Well, I actually had a scholarship to play of all sports soccer.
Yeah.
So then when I went to Harris Stowe State College and I joined like the little summer team they had going on. And I think I said this story before, but it was like every guy there was like foreign. So I'm like, oh yeah, this ain't the PHL. This ain't the public high league. This is different here. It's a whole different beast,
You're playing European soccer, football.
Man, I'm telling you, it was for real. I mean, like these guys were handling the ball like you would have it in your hand. They were doing it with their feet like it was a nothing. My bus trying to even go left to right and do a little crossover move. They doing it with ease. And Tom was like, I'm like, what are they saying? I don't know what's going on. Just pass me the ball, whatever. So like I had a harsh reality that soccer is different on different levels, but I have so much respect because the skill set got to be on point. To be able to kick a ball to a certain point, from here to there. So definitely respect to those who play soccer. But going back real quick, how would you say that the process was for you, Money McGhee, in regards to recruiting for basketball? Was it a hectic process, or was it pretty much like, okay, don't say nothing? Or, how would you really describe your process that you had to go through when you was getting recruited for basketball?
I think whenever I was getting recruited for basketball, recruiting was going through so many different changes, right? Because this is like when social media was really popping off. This is whenever the rules for recruiting for coaches and like the time periods of recruiting changed and how early you could commit. So I was kind of like in that period of everything. And for me also, even though both my parents had scholarships to do their sports in college, I feel like we kind of came in just having to figure it out, so I did a lot of reaching out to coaches. I would, just look up schools that I was interested in. I would go in and just shoot them emails. I've never been a person to really like create highlight tapes, so that wasn't me. I would just like invite them out to my games, let them know the tournaments that I was going to be at. Spoke with people via social media who were interested in me, who contacted me. But I would say it's stressful. I think the recruiting process is stressful for anybody because that's a big next decision that you have to make for your life, is where you're going to spend the next, 4 to 5 years. Play somewhere you want to be happy, somewhere where your family can watch you, somewhere where you feel like you're going to grow, where they have a plan for you. So I don't care who you are. I mean, you could be the best player in the nation or someone who's just barely getting by. I think recruiting is going to be stressful regardless.
And before we continue on, it is that time in which Bunny and Joe will be dropping off. Ladies, thank you for y'all time, and y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all evening.
All right, you too. Thanks again for joining us, Bunny McGhee. I'll see you on social media.
Good seeing you. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right. So now it is the Platform Sports Talk Show with yours truly, Smooth, and we have a special guest.
Money McGhee, baby.
There we go. She ready. No rehearsals needed. She's about that TV life. So she got it. Basically, she got it. Lights are bright. She ready for it.
I'm here.
Exactly. So what made you decide to choose Florida Gulf Coast?
Yeah, so I actually started off at Missouri State. I kind of had a journey to Florida Gulf Coast. So I did my freshman and sophomore year at Missouri State University down in Springfield. My sophomore year, I transferred out to George Mason University, which is in Fairfax, Virginia, about 20 minutes away from Washington, D.C. I did my junior and senior year there, graduated with my bachelor's degree, and then went on and did a post-grad transfer to Florida Gulf Coast University down in Fort Myers, Florida.
Man, so you were traveling someone, huh?
Yeah, I was hopping and bopping around for sure.
So just going from different places, how did that make you feel knowing that you've been pretty much been traveling throughout these 3-4 year time frame and especially different cultures?
Yeah, I mean, I really think they were different cultures, and it's different styles too. So you have Missouri Valley, A10, and then ASUN. So they're completely different styles of basketball, number one. And then you're having to meet your teammates, new ones, mesh into it. But I feel like I've always been a person who adjusts well. So for me, I was just doing what I felt was the best decision for me at the time, making those moves. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do when you go into a situation. Yep. Whatever college you go to, you're still going to have to adjust. You're still going to be a student athlete. You have to keep your grades. You're going to be competing for a spot. You're going to try to work to get better. You're going to have to balance your schedule. You're going to have to learn the people and surroundings that you're in and grow. And I think that's wherever you go. And I feel like I thrive in those types of situations.
So when you went to Florida Gulf Coast, did you play on a scholarship basketball wise there too?
Yeah, so I was a post-grad transfer. I played my 5th year. I even applied for a 6th year, and it almost got through, but the NCAA was hating, so I didn't. But I still got to finish my master's degree and everything, so I came back to St. Louis on a good note.
Nice. So how would you describe your time there basketball-wise at Florida Gulf Coast University?
Oh my gosh, I love FGCU, baby. If I could have been an Eagle for the entirety of my time, even though I really enjoyed all of my schools, but Florida Gulf Coast was just a different vibe because you're down in Florida, you have good weather all the time. Our school is right on a beach, so you can literally walk out and you're like a block away from a beach that you can go and play on. It's a beautiful campus. It's a really intimate. It's not like the Q at Missouri State. It's not like a gym like that, but it's an intimate gym. Their fans are loyal. They come in, they watch, they love women's basketball in Florida. So it was a very electric experience, and we won. I mean, if anybody knows anything about FGCU women's basketball, they're called Reigning Threes. They've had a documentary on them. We have one of the most winning coaches in Division I history, and Coach Carl Festo, and he has been with FGCU since they were Division II and then transferred or, moved up to Division I. And he knows how to recruit. He knows basketball. He is a true student of the game, and he's a great teacher of the game. So he was one of my favorite people to ever play for.
And I know that in regards to the men's side, they started getting a lot of recognition. I want to say during around the time you was there, when they started like winning the NCAA tournament games, during March Madness. They were getting kind of like famous. I think they had a few high flyers, and that school was kind of getting a lot of buzz for a certain period of time. Is that right?
Yeah, so it was actually just a few years before I got there, but it was Dunk City. It was that's what they termed their thing is Dunk City when they made that run to the Sweet 16. But yeah, so they had their time and their recognition. I think historically all around the women's basketball program is better, but
of course, you're gonna represent for the ladies.
Yeah, they had their time to shine. We'll leave it with that.
Yeah, it's all good. So as you said, after Florida Gulf Coast, you came back to the Louvre and you were a substitute teacher.
Yes, I was. I came back and didn't really know, what career route I wanted to take or if I wanted to continue playing basketball overseas. I just didn't know. So I came back home, started substitute teaching back in the Pattonville School District, was able to link up with Kalia Collier and the St. Louis Surge. And she initially brought me on as a communications and social media intern. And then I ended up taking on this dual role as the intern and a player. So I played my first season with them in 2019, which was, absolutely amazing. I love Kalia. I've always been a Surge fan since I was young and when she was really building this program. So it was cool to have that full circle moment and be able to put on a Surge uniform and play for St. Louis. And during that time, I was just trying to, again, figure out what I was doing. And towards the end of that year, I ended up getting a internship. Well, full story, I was doing a interview with Rich Gould, who is the sports director for News 11 and Fox 2, our sister stations. I was there doing an interview as a Surge player with Rich for his segment. And after that interview, he came to me and he was like, I think that you'd be absolutely phenomenal as a sports broadcaster, as a sports reporter. We have a position open, like you should apply. And at this time I was like, well, yeah, it sounds good, but I don't have any experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they're not gonna think twice about me. But I was like, whatever, I'll put something together, I'll figure it out, So
Right.
I scrapped up writing samples. I was doing a little bit of side work for this company called The Ball Out as well, where I was doing like event hosting online and writing articles for them that were getting published on their website. So I was putting all that stuff together. I submitted my resume, ended up getting an interview, sat down with Martin Kilcoyne and Audrey Prywitch, who was our TV director. And even though they both really liked me and wanted to give me a chance, they were just like, this is a top 25 network. You just don't have the experience. Completely understood. I gladly was like, thank you for the opportunity. As I was walking out, they stopped me and were like, we do have an internship opportunity though, and we would love for you to take advantage of it just so you can, learn and get your foot in the doors. I was kind of torn and I wasn't going to take it because I was also exploring an opportunity to go play ball overseas in Germany. And I was like, whatever, if I'm not going to be like working and getting paid what I want, I might as well just continue to go hoop, whatever.
Right.
But my parents talked some sense into me and they were like, no, we really think this would be a really, really good, thing for you. We can see something really positive coming out of this. So I took their wise advice and I stayed and I did the internship for 3 months. And after that 3 months, they called me in January of 2020 and they were like, yo, this full-time position just opened back up as a news reporter and we would love to offer it to you. And so that's how I got here.
And that's an incredible story. And I hope for those who are watching this show right now, it just shows you that if you're really serious about something, if you really want to do something, it may not be exactly how you wanted it to be initially. But if you truly want something, you stick to it, you do what you have to do So that's a great story for those who are inspiring to be sports reporters or whatever field that they see themselves in. It may not start off being like, here, the job is yours. You may have to do an internship, but that's what this show is about, is being able to have people see that, yeah, they see you on TV now, but they don't know what it took for you to get to that point.
Exactly. And you said it best. We all have this path in our mind of what we think it's supposed to look like. And that work I was doing for the ball out, I was coming out of my own pocket. I was paying my own gas. I was, they weren't paying me anything. I was just doing that because I thought it was an opportunity that would lead to something paid, but it never did. But if I didn't have that material, I wouldn't have been able to walk into that room that day for that interview and present anything. And then if I didn't bring myself into that interview room with confidence and feeling like I could do this, they wouldn't have offered me that internship even without that experience. So I think it just goes to show you always have to keep a positive attitude. You always have to have confidence in yourself, believe in yourself that you are capable, that you can do it. Because again, I didn't go to school for any of this. I literally came in with zero experience, and I'm in a top 25 first market. So if it's something that you aspire to do, you can make it happen. You just can't be lazy about it.
Exactly. And shouts out to one of our faithful followers, Miss Williams. She says internships are so valuable. At her company, internships have frequently led to permanent positions. And I mean, that's how it is. It's kind of like if you play in a professional team like the Cardinals or whatever. You may come in as just a guy off the bench, hey, do your thing, whatever. You may not have that prime role on a team, but if you just keep on impressing, you're gonna force them to open up their eyes and be like, you know what?
Yeah,
maybe this person is what's best for us. So it's all about the grind, it's all about the journey, it's all about perseverance. Don't give up on it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be like, oh well, I'm on the bench, so I ain't gonna have no clock and I can't do this. No, keep on doing what you gotta do and make others see you. Make others be like, you know what? Come on, you start now.
Everyone watches the way you respond, even when you think that they're not. They want to see what you're doing. Everyone wants to test, and they might not even do it, knowingly, but those are moments where your character gets tested, and people want to know how you're going to respond in situations, and are you going to clam up, or are you going to rise to the occasion? So I'm a big advocate for just always be on your P's and Q's, because you never know who's got the next key to open the next door for you. So
exactly. And I always like to say this too, but it's all about how you handle adversity. That builds character. You know what I'm saying? If you get told no, how you're gonna act. It's like I'm pretty sure a dude asks a girl out and she says no. Are you gonna act childish and be, and call a name that she don't deserve to be called? Or are you gonna say, I respect that, you have a great, you know what I'm saying? It's just all about how you handle yourself. And I just see another comment from Ms. Williams, and nothing else. They give you something to put on your resume as work experience. So yeah, exactly. But like, hey, I worked at Fox 2, for 18 months. So I got that experience. I look good now on my resume that I did this for a certain amount of time. So
excuse me as I plug my computer in so we don't die.
Hey, I totally understand. Once again, this is the platform Sports Talk Show. Earlier, Joe and Bunny was on, but they had to go ahead and leave. Miss Williams, for the next few weeks, Bunny will be joining us from 7 to 8-ish, and then she'll drop off then the month of November as she gets ready for her little bun in the oven to come on out. She'll be taking about a good month and some change off from the show totally. So definitely send her prayers and thumbs up and everything, all that good positive energy that she would need as she welcomes in her second little one to the world very soon. Stan may be joining us later on. A little miscommunication on his part. He assumed I was still at my old home, and he didn't realize that after. So he called me up like at 6:55 talking about I think I'm outside. I'm like, outside where? I'm like, I moved. Like, I got married and I moved from the old spot, and so hopefully he will join us later on in this show. But once again, we do have the very talented and hard working on her P's and Q's, Mikala Money McGhee. So Fox 2, and Channel 11, same building. Is that correct?
They are on the same building. Yep.
Okay, cool,
We're on
cool.
Maryland Heights. We're not down. We're not downtown. I think Channel 5 and Channel 4 are both downtown, but we're out, like off a page in Maryland Heights.
Okay, yeah. Is that Leah, like by Carroll House and all them? Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay, cool, cool. Definitely would love to have the platform Sports Talk Show make an appearance out there, man. That'd definitely be like my dream to be able to get the word out.
Well,
For
say
those to see
next
about
time I anchor and I need a guest, I know who to call.
Hey, get at me. I'm ready whenever. Let's go. let's get it popping. But so once again, this has so far been an incredible interview. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Continue to get them likes going, them shares, more people to tune in. Leave comments, no matter what sports topic it is. That's what this show is about. Get it out there. Let's talk about it. Let's enjoy this next hour or so with Money McGhee. So you say you never had no experience in regards to being a sports reporter, being an anchor. What were you doing to get that experience so you can be better? Was it just more so being around the Martin Kilcoins and Rich Gould and others in that profession or in that building?
Yeah. Well, I got hired on to do news. So really, I wasn't even, in that sports sector when I first got to the station. But then they started using me for prep zone. So it kind of started transitioning when they were like, oh, like she really, like she's in her element when she's talking about sports. You know what I'm saying? They naturally saw that whenever I started doing prep zone. So that's when they started transitioning me more into that department. But again, like I just had to learn everything from scratch. So I really never watched news too much or, just like sports talk shows for real in the swing of things. But I just really started watching anchors and the way they performed, sports anchors, news anchors, reporters, the way they carry themselves, the way they talked, the way they wrote stories. I just really became how you would study basketball film. Like I started studying TV, basically.
Right.
Oh, gosh, I'll tell you what, leave me alone, everybody.
The buzz is real.
I mean, gosh. But yeah, I just started studying TV and studying the way people who I looked up to in the sports broadcasting, sideline reporting, anchoring, just how they moved, what they did, what made them different, what made people like them. When you're just watching as a viewer, you're kind of just taking it in as a viewer, but I was watching it as like, okay, like this is what I need to be doing, like taking notes. And then I would go back and watch my sports segments and whenever I was anchoring or my newscast, and I would sit down and I would even sit down with my parents and we would go through and like see what I could do to get better. I hired a talent coach who really helped me learn how to control my voice whenever I was reading stories and presenting news as well. And that was, I paid for out of pocket myself. So again, that just goes to show like invest in yourself, invest in getting better, and it pays off.
Nice. So who would you say, as you were, like you said, working on getting better, would you say outside of St. Louis that you may have followed, whether it's someone big time on NBC or someone on ESPN? Was there anyone that you kind of like was inspired by as you were learning the ropes in regards to being a reporter or anchor?
I mean, Maria Taylor has always just been one person who I've really, I think she's always been in her own lane, and she's stayed the course and her her work has showed off. She's really started. She's one other person who, started at the bottom and has really skyrocketed in her career. So she's one person who I really admire.
So,
and then Joy Taylor, I like Joy Taylor as well. Yeah. She's more like podcast and radio and stuff, but she does really well. And I have to give a shout out to Malika Andrews. I think she's really stepped into this role that she wasn't expecting to be in, and she's been excelling as well.
That's true, and I'm glad that you brought those names up because being a woman in your profession, like you said, covering Sports Zone, and then now you have your, Rise, from ESPN, formerly TNT, what was it, Rise Gold, Underwoody? Yeah. You have your Carrie champions, like you said, Maria Taylor's, your Taylor Rooks or Malika Andrews, like you said, in which they're doing so much in their career, like really advancing, really doing anything, setting the bar. Your Jamel Hills, the journalists, etc. Then you have your Rachel Nichols and your Sage Steele.
Oh.
So first, before I get to the Sage Steele and Rachel Nichols, just tell us in regards to this from your perspective, how do you see it being really challenging being a woman covering what you're covering, especially being around? I'm sure more of a male dominant, field where you're going to, football games, basketball games, etc. Just
Yeah.
being a woman in your position, how would you say that? How challenging would you say it is being a sports reporter?
I think it was more challenging when those women first got started. And not so much Malika Andrews, because she's more my age. We're kind of like stepping into this, but the women who you just all mentioned, those are the women who kind of broke the glass ceiling for us. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, like as a man, I feel like you get the pass of like, okay, because you're a man, you know sports, and as a woman, you kind of have to prove yourself. You have to prove your knowledge. You have to prove that you know some type of worthy athlete to even be talking about sports. But then you have people like Stephen A, who's made his entire living millions of dollars doing this and didn't even make his high school basketball team. You know what I'm saying? So it's
right.
Little things like that. But I think right now is a prime time for women who want to be in sports, in any sector of sports, to step into that role, because the opportunities and the doors are there. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for women who are knowledgeable and have a good presence and who know what they're talking about to step in to these anchor roles, to these analyst roles, these commentator roles. So I think it was, like I said, I think it was way harder for the women before us, because they had to establish themselves as worthy, as able, capable. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like, okay, it's here for the taking. Who's going to take it?
Right. So when you first heard about Rachel Nichols and the leaked conversation in regards to her thoughts on Maria Taylor, and felt like, well, that should have been my spot, but she got it instead, and talking about minorities a little bit, and now Maria Taylor moved on to NBC, got a bigger, better role, getting paid much more. She's in a happier place, and Rachel Nichols is out of a job pretty much at ESPN. Hasn't been fully said, but her show was taken off. Right. How did you feel about that? Because we do know there's been a lot of men hating on men kind of thing, but recently you're starting to see women talking about other women in the same exact field. Like, how does that make you feel when you start hearing about what's going on with Rachel Nichols?
Well, I'm gonna first start this off with Rachel Nichols is someone else who has truly made a name for herself in the sports world. I mean, whether you want to admit that or not, I mean, she has hosted The Jump, I believe, for over 10 years, if not a decade, close to. So she's really someone who came in and put a stamp on that world and has had a great career with ESPN. And it is sad. I would say it's more so sad to see a comment like that come out, because I feel like that's something that you wouldn't expect from her, like just with the people who she's worked with for so long and the athletes that she worked with who are predominantly, Black and brown athletes. But in any field, I mean, especially in this career, it is like a sport. It's competitive. And I think she was in a moment where change was happening that she didn't want to happen, and she got caught up in a heated moment and probably said some things just out of anger. I don't believe that her and Maria Taylor probably have beef. I don't know them, and I'm not in that situation, so I can't judge based upon that. I am disappointed at what she said. I don't think that we should necessarily hold that over her head forever and judge her on that. But it does suck that it tainted, her career, and that is going to be something that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths here moving forward. I wish she didn't say it, because I mean, just because, someone else can win, just because someone else is winning doesn't mean you can't win either. Right. And like I said, I really feel like that comment just came out of a place of anger because moves were being made and she didn't understand why,
And then with Sage Steele, the biggest takeaway from me reading the report was how she felt like well, women are kind of asking for certain attention from men because of how pretty much how they dress on the sidelines or whatever else. And of course, that ruffles some feathers. And she has been suspended from ESPN. I'm not sure how long or how much longer she has. But I mean, yeah, you see it out there. And then she said something like this. So once again, I know it's part of a challenging thing. You want to wear something, presentable. People are going to look at you a certain way. Oh, she's trying to just show off in front of the guys or, whatever it is. And then like what Stl said, which she probably regrets saying it now, but pretty much saying, well, if she going to dress like this, you can't get mad if a dude try to, approach her a certain way. How'd that make you feel when you saw that or heard about that?
Again, Stl, someone who I very much so respected in this industry. You know what I'm saying? So these are hard people to talk about. But with comments like that, I just felt like that comment in particular of all the things she said was just unnecessary. As a woman, well, in any career, like you have to dress professionally. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dress in a way that you would want to be respected. And when you walk into a room, you feel comfortable, you feel confident, and you feel respected. And I feel I've seen extremely conservative anchors and reporters, and I've seen, I guess we can call it a little bit more risque, where they're wearing, like tighter dresses, more figure-fitting dresses. And I don't care which end of the spectrum you go on, because you have to do what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel like you can do your job to the best of your abilities. And I'm low-key jealous of some of these girls who I see coming out. There is one girl who I follow who I absolutely love, and I don't know why I can't think of her name right now, but she's on the NFL. She's on the NFL Network. She has curly hair too. Oh, do you know who I'm talking about?
I think I recall who you're talking about, but I don't know her name off the top of my head right now. I might have to look her up too.
Because she's like a fashion inspo for me, to be quite honest. Like, I absolutely love her. I don't know why I can't remember her name right now. Whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to dress how you want to dress. As long as it comes off as professional, to me, I don't really care. I don't feel like Sage really needed to get onto that topic for whatever reason, how it came up. You dress how you want to dress. Let the next dress how they want to dress. As long as it's not, somebody's, all stuff all flying around and hanging out. I mean, who cares?
Oh, is it MJ Acosta Ruiz?
Yes, that is exactly her. I mean, I am obsessed with her fashion style. If I had her money, I would be dressing like her every day too.
Oh man. So just from your experience, how would you say you have been treated in that field? I recall it was a situation back in Fox 2. I can't recall his name right now. Was it John Persborn? I think it was an issue with him. I can't recall what the situation was, but just overall, how would you say your time has been in regards to dealing with other males in your field while you're doing what you do?
Yeah, well, honestly, a lot of guys that I work with at my station are married. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like they're all grown, married off, whatever. And I also got hired on to right when this pandemic hit. So I haven't really been in the newsroom setting. I've been working from home. Like I go to the station every now and then to pick up what I need to pick up to get my job done, but I'm not in there like chilling with everyone and like having all that mix and mingle talk. So, which I prefer. Like I like to just get in and get out. That's just my style. Yeah. But I feel very well respected by all my coworkers. I haven't had a problem with anybody. Honestly, everyone has been nothing but complimentary about my growth from what they've seen from when I first started until now. So I appreciate that. My team has had my back at Fox 2 for sure.
That's good. That's definitely good to know. So I saw that on one of your posts, I think a couple days ago, you were talking about mental health. Mm-hmm. Please tell everyone, because we had conversations with previous guests in the past and everything, but just the importance of mental health awareness.
Yeah, mental health awareness is extremely important, and it comes in different, I guess, pictures or depictions. You know what I'm saying? I met with Tunnel Light Inc., who is an organization in St. Louis County, and they are rolling out this new initiative that's really targeting getting mental health care access to Black communities, you know, because a lot of times we have this stigma in the Black community that you shouldn't reach out to and go see a therapist or counseling. You know, it's kind of like, oh, if you go to counseling, you're crazy, or that you have to be strong all the time and that you shouldn't have or admit to the, you know, world or to anyone else that you're having issues. And that's just simply not the case, because we're all humans and we all deal with things, especially athletes, coaches, people in the sports world. That's an additional added stress in our lives that you have to cope with. And I don't think that we've looked at it or really put a lot of emphasis on that in the past, but especially now as we see more professional athletes stepping into the light and talking about their struggles with mental health and how athletics and their sport has added onto that of the pressures of just them in real life, being a human with their families, you know, having to provide and put food on the table and then perform at the highest level. We're seeing this disconnect of where I'm physically here, but I'm not mentally here. So it's so important for us, just as humans in general, to feel centered, to feel connected, to feel whole, to feel healthy. And mental health is a part of that. You want to be in good, sound mind so you can present your best self to the world.
Are you currently involved in any programs that's assisting with mental health awareness?
I would say just some of the programs that I have done stories with in the community. You know, I stay connected with them, and if they ever need any help, I will admit that I have gone to therapy in my lifetime. I'm not in it right now, but I have definitely gone and seen a counselor, and that's whenever I was in college as a student athlete. So I don't think that there needs to be this stigma of like, oh my gosh, we can't talk about it. I think more people should step up and talk about it so more people feel comfortable seeking the help that they need.
Nice. So on a positive tip, I've seen that you are in the running of being Miss Missouri.
Yeah, did I tell you that?
Yes, you did. I'm like, yeah.
You're
see,
right.
smooth. I got the scoop.
Okay.
I got the scoop.
Look, you threw me off. I was like, hold on now. I haven't told
you. Yeah. So tell us about that, and you know, how excited are you to be a part of being in the running for Miss Missouri?
Yeah, it was so crazy. So I actually had the pleasure of meeting the current Miss Missouri, Joy Forrest, and she was absolutely amazing. I met her at the Bommarito 500. Super cool girl. And I started following her on Instagram, and she posted like one time, she was like, yeah, we're accepting applications, you know, where applications are out, go submit, you could be the next Miss Missouri. And truthfully, it's always been something that I've wanted to do and get into. But, you know, I went to college, I was playing sports. I don't know anything about pageant world, nothing like that. But I applied because I was like, why not? Like, let's just see how it goes. Applied on a whim. And they emailed me back like 4 days later and were like, yeah, you're accepted. You're in this thing. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. And then all of a sudden they got this information. They sent me like my official acceptance package, you know, like my sash is in the mail on the way, everything. But it's different. It's, again, out of my comfort zone, something I've never done. But I am really excited to, you know, like go after this. I think it's after researching more about Miss Missouri, you know, USA pageantry and everything, they have a broader mission of really making an impact in the community and serving your community. And those are things that I'm passionate about. And I would like to have help and assistance and a platform to do just that. So it's not just about, you know, like the title of Miss Missouri, it's the opportunities that come with giving back to my community that will follow it, which is why I'm very passionate about going in and giving it my all and really trying to come home as Miss Missouri 2022.
Hey, now, well, I hope that the people who are watching right now, and of course, people who that you know are definitely going to be supporting you and hoping for nothing but the best for you. When is the actual pageant starting? Is there people? Can people? How can people vote for you if they can? If it's, you know, public voting, or is it just doing the actual judges themselves that's going to be doing the voting? That's it.
So unfortunately, it's not a voting thing. I wish it was, because I wish it was, but it's not. Like, the judges who are there pick who's going to be the next Miss Missouri. So I really have to go and make a good impression on them But it's in April, the end of April, April 30th through May 1st. It's in Branson, Missouri. They do have tickets out, so if people want to come watch or anything, you can go online to Van Bros and Company or to missmissouri.com, and you can buy tickets for it. If you would like to support me, one way you can do it is I am collecting sponsors on my journey. It's just a way to support me financially through this. There's actually a lot of things that you have to actually upfront and pay for. So if there's any businesses who would like to partner or, anything like that, I've actually already have Bommarito Automotive Group backing me, El Tio Pepe, which is a local restaurant out in St. Peter's. And of course, the Stl Surge, Kalia Collier, always supporting me on my professional and personal journey. So I'm racking up some sponsors and they've been extremely helpful, and I would love anyone else's support if you're into all that kind of stuff.
Love it. Speaking of which, in regards to Kalia Collier, as you said before, she was the president of the Stl Surge at the time. Is that correct?
Was the general manager and
GM
owner of the Stl Surge, yeah. But now she's she stepped down as general manager.
But she also is now part of St. Louis City SC,
yeah,
MLS team.
Yep, she's the director of community relations. I don't know the exact name of her title, but she's all about networking with the community and making sure everybody's taken care of. That is Kalia.
Yeah. I love everything that MLS has been doing. MLS for the Lou has been doing. So it's kind of similar like the Battlehawks when they were trying to make their name. They wanted to make sure that people in St. Louis knew, the community knew that they were about the community. You know what I'm saying? Going to different places, setting up booths, etc., getting everybody hyped, and we had the best turnouts of all of the XFL. And I have a feeling that once the St. Louis City SC is officially up and running, that it's going to be bananas too because of what she's doing and what others are doing. How excited are you about MLS for the Lou?
I am so excited for City SC to get here. Just covering them with Fox 2 and just seeing the progression and just how community oriented they are, the experience that they want to create for fans, and already the amount of hype that they've built up for us fans. I just think it's going to be nuts. And I know St. Louis is a soccer city because I grew up in that world. So I know how many people love soccer here and how many people are going to be going to those games. I actually had the pleasure of going to a Sporting KC game in Kansas City. That's their MLS team.
I saw that.
Yeah, and seeing like what a game day is like in the atmosphere. I just know St. Louis is going to show out for City SC. So,
and I will say, just watch it on TV. Soccer fans go hard. They go hard. So I look forward to being able to go to a game and seeing it up close in person and just seeing the people act crazy in a great way. And seeing St. Louis shine on a whole different level, because just look at how much pub that the city will get when we get the game starting. Like internationally, it's going to be crazy.
Internationally, and we're gonna start seeing so many people traveling to St. Louis, which is just gonna help our economy here and everything. So it's really a win-win situation for everyone. And in 2023, not only is City SC gonna be in St. Louis, XFL is coming back to St. Louis. So we're gonna have the battle back. So it's gonna be jumping in 2023 for the Lou.
Do you feel that we can hold down an NBA team now?
I don't know at this current moment. I would love for us to get a joint NBA and WNBA team here in St. Louis, because I think it's the perfect location, Midwest wise. But I don't know if financially we could sustain one right now, unfortunately. But I would love for us to. We'll see.
Stay tuned. And, last thing in regards to yourself, you had the discussion with the other ladies on Ladies Night, but your DJ documentary, how is that going?
So we're still Well, it's filmed. It's filmed. So we have the St. Louis and East St. Louis edition already put together. We've had a private viewing for it where people could come in, bought tickets, and just kind of got to watch and get a taste of what we're going to be putting out there. But the team behind that, KMG Productions, and Golden Nest Productions, they are still, in negotiations with like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, to see which platform it's going to be on. So as soon as we figure all that out, or if we even just release it on YouTube, who knows? We're getting anxious to get it out there for everybody. So we're just trying to see the best way, method, and platform to do that on. But when we know, we will let y'all know.
Nice. Definitely look forward to it. I'm excited. There's a few people who, I've seen that you had on your post back then that I know. So look forward to seeing it, and hopefully that it's a great documentary. Get a lot of love. So do you have time to talk about some sports around the world, some NBA, some baseball real quick before you go?
Yeah, you got me about for 5 more minutes. So let's do it.
Cool. All right. So the NBA season is right around the corner. A hot topic that I want to really discuss real quick is the Kyrie Irving situation. For those who are not aware, he's pretty much has not played at all. Well, excuse me, he hasn't played preseason wise, but in the state of New York, that's the big thing. It's not his team, it's the state that has a mandate that if you're not vaccinated, you cannot play games at that home state.
Yeah.
So it was going to be him playing on the road, 41 games, and then he can't play at home. But the Nets announced yesterday that they have decided he would not play at all until he gets vaccinated. And it's been like a really big divide in regards to this vaccinations totally, in total. If he was playing with any other team that didn't have that home state vaccination mandate, it'd be different. But how do you feel he has handled this situation with the vaccination issue?
I believe stand for something or fall for anything. I'm not going to sit here and say his point of view on it is right or wrong, but that's the way he feels. He right now doesn't feel comfortable being vaccinated, and I feel like he has the right to choose if he should be vaccinated or not. And I don't feel like he should be pressured, bullied, or manipulated into doing that if he's not comfortable with that right now. And that goes for anyone, not just Kyrie. So
the sources are saying that it's not even about him being anti-vaccine. It's he's more so taking a stance for people who have lost their jobs because of not getting vaccinations. So you go ahead.
Yeah, reports are literally coming out that we're seeing the highest rate of unemployment in our nation since 1998. You know what I'm saying? It's bad because people are being forced to quit their jobs or getting terminated because of this mandate. So we're wiping out more than half of our workforce who are qualified for these positions, and it's going to tremendously affect our economy. And again, I am pro-vaccine. I'm pro-choice as well. If you want to get the vaccine, it's available. You can go out there and get it. If you don't want to get the vaccine, I feel like people who don't want to get the vaccine have made the choice. It's been available for months at this point in so many different locations. If you wanted it, you could have went and got it. I'm also a big advocate for just healthy living. I feel like if you are healthy, I don't know. This is a whole deep topic.
It is. It definitely is.
Topic, and I'm not trying to step on any medical professional's toes. Working in news, I have literally heard both sides of everything. But my biggest thing for anyone is you have the right to make decisions for yourself in regards to your own health. I 100% stand on that, and I 100% stand on people living healthy lifestyles, which leads to less sickness, which leads to less death. And that's in general. We need more exercise. We need more nutritious foods. We need more of those things available for people. And I know a lot of people want to go, well, that's not related to COVID. COVID can hit anybody. That's extremely true. But if we're, taking care of our immune systems and making sure that we're strong and we're healthy, likely the effects of COVID on us are not going to be as severe. And that's what a lot of people advocate the vaccine for. is that once you take the vaccine, you're not going to have as severe side effects of COVID-19. And again, that's for each and every single person to choose. I am pro whatever y'all want to do. So that's what I have to say on that.
Let's see. Ms. Williams says, say most jobs offer exemptions for medical or religious reasons. You can make your own decision, but you have to eat right. And so my only thing about the Kyrie situation is because of the job that he's in, the NBA, we know it's a multi-billion-dollar business. They make money because players are available. You know what I'm saying? Fans came to see you play.
Yeah.
I just wish that he would have taken a different approach. From what the sources are saying is that it's more so his decision. He's not letting his doctors do the research for him and to tell him. It is more so he's doing it for himself. Like, I'm just going to be the voice of the voiceless and stuff like that. But then what about your teammates? What about the organization that paid you millions and millions of dollars to be on a team to win a championship? Where is your loyalty to the organization and to the team and to the league that's paying you to do your thing, to do the passion, to do your love? That's where I think a lot of it has been lost on, is where is that appreciation for what you signed up to do? And that's be out there playing every day.
Yeah, and Kyrie might be the face of this, but he is not the only NBA player who has stepped up and have spoken out that, they're just not comfortable getting the vaccine right now. And like you said, I feel like it's for him been blown up, one, because he's Kyrie, he's a top player in the NBA, he's in the state of New York, and then you have management coming out and saying that he's not going to be able to participate in anything team related until he is vaccinated. That's a hard position to be in for anybody who's has his platform. And I agree with you. Like, I don't feel like you should just be doing something or speaking on something just because you feel like, I'm going to be that guy for everybody else. I feel like those are conversations and decisions that you can't have in private. But then being said, this is bigger than just the athletic realm. Like, people are dealing with this in their careers outside of the NBA, outside of the NFL, outside of MLB. So like I said, that's a tough hat to balance, trick around, whatever you want to call. But I would like to see Kyrie play. I hope that it comes to, and you were just talking about like loyalty to his team, loyalty to the league. Well, it's just like, where's the loyalty to the players as well? So I guess we'll just see how that all comes down to.
Yeah. And so it was announced that the Nets, they once again decided to not have him on the team until he decides what he wants to do. And also they would not give out any extension to him either, as they were planning to do as well. So it looks like, it may sound like he may be done for real with the Nets. And it's been more so because of his rep that he's gotten over the last few years about him being about just himself and not the team. That's also kind of what made this even worse, because of the rep that he's already getting already. But with that being said, who is your team in the NBA? Who is your team in NFL? And who are you going for right now in the MLB, or the last 3 teams remaining, or 4 teams remaining?
Last 4 teams remaining. Honestly, if it's not the Cardinals, I don't really care who wins. So I'm just like,
I feel that.
What I'm saying? I'm just like, whoever wins at this point, they win. For the NFL, still gonna stick with the Rams, even though they left us.
Okay, so you're still a Rams fan, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching games. My boyfriend, he played football in college, so he's always watching football. And I never used to watch that much football, but now I am. But I'm just gonna stick with the Rams because they were here in St. Louis. And then NBA team, I've been rocking with the Rockets, Houston Rockets, for a while now. I really like the Clippers as well. I really like what they've been building there. But I think the Bulls are gonna surprise a lot of people this season. So
I was saying the same thing. Watch out for the Bulls.
Yeah, they got a squad. I mean, they can come and do some things, some damage this year.
Yes, watch out for the Bulls. Stan, our other member of the show, co-host, he would have been on but couldn't be on tonight. He loves the Bulls since Well, I have too since the Jordan days, but it left after Jordan left. But he still is a Bulls fan, and I know he's probably doing backflips right now because he loves what's going on with that team right now. Lonzo, bringing in Caruso, bringing in DeRozan, Vucevic. I mean, that team is loaded, and they are going. I feel they're going to shock some people in the NBA. But with that being said, Money McGhee, thank you very much for taking time out. Please send me your information so we can make that happen in regards to representing the platform Sports Talk Show on Fox 2 or Channel 11. Let's stay in contact and make that happen. And thank you once again for being part of the show, and you have a wonderful night.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That was Mikala Money McGhee. I hope that you all have enjoyed the platform Sports Talk Show. It's been a pleasure. Shouts out to Joe. Shouts out to Bunny. Stan, hopefully we get you back next week. Tune in. We have a whole lot more to discuss in the sports world next week when I get the ladies on again with me and our special guests. It's going to be another good one. So stay tuned for many more. It is the platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth. Make sure y'all keep on getting them shares going. Let everybody know what's happening about the platform Sports Talk Show so we get more and more people to tune in and enjoy what we have been doing. It's been 4 years strong. It's been great. It's been incredible, and it's not going to stop. Shouts out to my wife, Jamie, Jayance. Love you. And once again, you see, get ready for a show next week. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that bell so anytime we go live, you will be notified. Once again, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and now on Roku. Any Roku device you have, just go to add channel and put in the platform Sports Talk Show, and we will definitely make it happen. I am your boy Smooth. Thanks for tuning in. The platform Sports Talk Show. When it's about sports, it becomes our business, and business continues to pick up. We out, right, we out.